Good morning, friends, and welcome to today's video. Today we are heading out on a day trip to go to Jasper National Park. It's about a 4-hour drive to get to Jasper, and mainly I want to go because this is probably the last weekend of the year before it snows in the mountains, and I don't know if the snow will stick, but it will definitely start to get cold and snowy, and I don't like driving in the snow, and so I knew that today it is going to be nice out today. It's -2 right now, but it's going to warm up a little bit as the day progresses. It's only 7:30 in the morning right now. I am about 2 hours into my 4-hour drive to get to Jasper, so I'm just stopped at the McDonald's in Edson right now, and then we are going to continue on to Jasper. I just wanted to pull over to start the video, and also I'm gonna run into McDonald's and go to the bathroom and maybe grab a snack. Normally on my way out of town, I will grab gas and then a coffee and some breakfast when I'm doing a day trip like this. But this morning I grabbed gas, but I wanted to save my money because when I get to Jasper at some point, I want to check out some of the local cafes, and they're a little bit more expensive in Jasper and just in the mountains in general at the cafes. So I wanted to save some money on the way out, so I packed myself coffee to go from my kitchen, and I packed some peanut butter toast, which I have been eating and drinking on the drive, but I'm still a little bit hungry, so I might grab a snack when I go into McDonald's. The drive from Edmonton to Jasper is about a 4-hour drive, and there are pretty much like 3 main markers as you get there. Or I guess 2 main markers, and then you're there. So the first kind of leg is Edmonton to Edson, which is what I just completed. I'm in Edson now, and that's about 2 hours worth of driving. And then it's Edson to Hinton is the next kind of leg, and that is about an hour. And then Hinton to Jasper is another hour. And then, yeah. I don't know the exact route we're going to take when we're in Jasper, but basically I wanted to go because this past summer Jasper was hit by a really bad forest fire, and part of the town burned down as well as a lot of the surrounding area. So I wanted to go and just check it out as well as give some support to Jasper, stop at a cafe like I said, grab some food, support the local businesses there. But also I have a lot of blog posts on my website about Jasper. And so now I don't know if they are outdated or not, just with the information and with the pictures. I want to make sure that what I post is painting a real picture of the place and what it's like, so that there's no surprises, and so that you can decide if you actually want to travel there, and so that you know kind of what to expect when you get there. So I wanted to go before the snow and the winter hit so that I can grab some updated pictures. A lot of the roads just opened up recently. So today it's October, I don't even know. Today is Friday, October 18th. So I think the road to Maligne Lake opened this past Monday maybe, and the gift shop just opened too. So yeah, I wanted to just go check it out, just see for myself, grab some updated pictures, so that I am informed, so that if people ask me, I know what I'm talking about and I don't misguide them. Yeah, I'm going to continue my drive. It's still dark out if you can't tell, but the sun is just starting to rise, which is nice. So it's going to be bright out for my drive now. The highway from Edmonton to Jasper doesn't really it's not lit up, so it's quite dark while you're driving. Which is fine, but if you're planning to do this drive, just know that if it's dark out, make sure you're watching for the shiny eyes of animals as you drive, so that if you do see kind of fluttering shiny eyes in the ditch, you know it's an animal and they might run out on the road in front of your car. So just be aware of that if you're ever driving here at night. Watch the ditch for shiny eyes. Yeah, I'm gonna go get my snack and then continue the drive. It is 9:49. We made it to Jasper National Park. I've already driven a little bit of Maligne Lake Road just because there was not really anywhere to pull over. So I have found a little turnout on Maligne Lake Road. My heart is so heavy with what is kind of left on Maligne Lake Road. It's absolutely just burnt. Some spots are still standing, like there were some signs that I passed by that are still intact and trees and everything, but a majority of the road that I've driven is just totally burned. Yeah, which is really sad. And I've already passed quite a few animals that are just kind of like in the burnt forest, and it's just really sad. But we are here to investigate and to update so that people are informed of when they come and everything, and help as much as I can, just shopping at the cafes or whatever, and I'll check out the gift shop. But yeah, so I'm gonna do my makeup and then we will keep driving down the road. I'm actually just gonna hop out of the car and snap a couple of pictures just of the road itself, just because I'm safely on this little road pullout. And oops. So we're at Maligne Lake at the boat launch area, and basically Maligne Lake seems very untouched. It seems like the only super burnt part was at the very top of Maligne Lake Road by Maligne Canyon, but otherwise Maligne Lake is totally fine. No burnt trees. The road here, the second half wasn't burnt at all. So yeah, Maligne Lake is totally fine, which is amazing news. This is the main lake shore. Before we were over there at the boat launch, but now this is where you can rent canoes at the boathouse or just kind of explore the lake shore. And then if you were taking a cruise to Spirit Island, they leave from right there. Okay, so we have driven the length of Maligne Lake Road. We went and investigated Maligne Lake. I think I might have mentioned, so really the only part of Maligne Lake area and Maligne area that is burnt is the very beginning of Maligne Lake Road, where Maligne Canyon is, where the Skyline Trailhead, one of them is. But once you kind of get past, I mean, a good chunk of it is quite burnt, but once you get past that area, it looks normal and it's totally fine. A lot of the road is still green, it's still not burnt. The lake area itself is totally fine. It looked completely normal. It is not burnt at all, and it is safe. The canoes were there. The boat launch was totally fine. So yeah, a couple tips if you're going to Maligne Lake. If you're going in October, it's quite cold. Like, as you can see, there's snow on the ground in this area. The Maligne Lake area is very wild, I guess. So the way that like the landscape is in that area, I'm gonna take this down because it's... The way the landscape is in that area is the weather can change really quickly. So because of the landscape of Maligne Lake, the weather can be very unpredictable there, and it can be a lot colder than it is in Jasper town. So if you're going to the Maligne Lake area, and especially if you're going to be canoeing or backcountry camping there, make sure you dress a little bit warmer or have layers or just extra supplies to make sure that you are safe and okay, because once I was canoeing in the summer and it seemed totally fine when we were leaving Jasper town and our campground, but then once we were getting to the Maligne Lake area, it was super foggy, and it was like that for a majority of the day until the sun rose. We left in the morning and burned up all the fog, but like the boats to Spirit Island were delayed a lot because of all the fog on Maligne Lake. And sometimes like it randomly snows, sometimes the wind might pick up. Obviously here the trees are all covered in snow in this area, but in the regular Jasper town and other areas there's not snow. So just be prepared if you're going to Maligne Lake. Have a little bit of extra gear with you, especially if you're staying overnight or staying long. Otherwise, yeah, you can park in the main parking lot to kind of check out the lakeshore and everything. There's a couple of picnic tables by the parking lot, and okay, sorry you fell. Yeah, there's a lot of picnic tables kind of by the, well, not a lot, but there's a couple of picnic tables by the parking lot. There's the Maligne Canyon Kitchen there, so there's a little restaurant there, and yeah, there's a lot to do at Maligne Lake if you are outdoorsy. Otherwise, like, because there's hikes and stuff, you can hike around the lakeshore. Otherwise, it's just kind of snap a few photos and kind of move on. The Maligne Lake Road is pretty scenic. If you drove the Icefields Parkway on the way here though, that road's definitely way more scenic, but you have a good chance of seeing animals on the Maligne Lake Road, so just drive safe and be careful. And yeah, now I'm freezing and I'm eating some snacks. I have my pretzel crisps. Thank you to my mother for buying these. So now I'm going to head towards Jasper town. I think that we are going to go to Pyramid Lake just to check out that area. And then I think we'll go to Athabasca Falls potentially. And then we will go and do maybe a hike, and I want to hit up town. It's 12 o'clock, so I'm running out of time. The Maligne Lake area does take quite a bit of time, because to drive the road down to Maligne Lake, it takes about 45 minutes to an hour, and then you want to explore Maligne Lake, and then you have to drive all the way back. There's also no service on the road, and there's no gas. So make sure you have everything downloaded that you need, like your music, your maps, whatever. Tell people where you are, and make sure you have enough gas to get there and back. So let's head to Pyramid Lake. And so this is the beginning of Pyramid Island. That's Pyramid Mountain. So if you didn't know, you can actually get married at Pyramid Lake, but it's open to the public, so if it's busy in the summer, you'll basically have a bunch of people crowding watching, because this is one of the most popular spots in Jasper. This is on the island that you take the bridge to, and that's where the bridge kind of lets out, so all of the tourists and people visiting will walk across the bridge, come out right there, and see your wedding. So keep that in mind if you are planning to get married at Pyramid Lake. I somehow have this whole spot all to myself. There's nobody here. I'm about to walk back across the bridge from the island, so no one's here. I don't know how that happened, so that's really great. I wish I had a better tripod to take my picture with. But Pyramid Lake and Pyramid area is untouched by the wildfire, which is awesome. In case you're wondering what all the bathrooms look like at the parking lots and day use areas, this is what they look like. It's basically just a pretty outhouse. We're on the docks now at Pyramid Lake where the Pyramid Beach Resort is. So what I'm looking at is the Pyramid Beach Resort, or Pyramid Lake Resort, and then here is Pyramid Lake. Patricia Lake. Station on that corner burned down, and over there burned down. Montana's is still, I believe there was a Home Hardware in there, and I think it's safe to say it's not there anymore. So we're driving up to Old Fort Point now. It's that green hill on the top left there, if you can see it. So looks like the area coming up to it is burnt. So we are going up there and farther. Crazy. Or you couldn't see that trail. And so looking out, all of that area is burnt, and all of that is burnt. Just the ones right in front of me aren't. So this green area is the Jasper Park Lodge, and everything else is just so burnt. It's wild. So this hike is quite steep. I'm on my way down. There's stairs right here, but tell actually, but it is quite steep and it's quite windy, so dress accordingly. It's crazy, these guardrails have been burnt. This whole area has been pretty burnt, but there's green grass, so it's starting to regrow. I ran out of time. I thought I would have time to also go to Athabasca Falls. However, I ran out of time because it's about like a 25-minute drive from Jasper, which means it's 25 minutes there and then it's 25 minutes back. And I also needed time to be there. So that would take like an hour or more, probably more, at Athabasca Falls. So I didn't get a chance to go there, but on All Trails, it does say that it was a little bit burnt. So Athabasca Falls, from what I can tell, was a little bit hit by the fire, which is unfortunate, but it's still pretty, I'm sure. Obviously, you can't burn a waterfall, so the falls are actually still there. Just the trees around it might be a little bit crispy. So today we went to Maligne Lake, which the lake itself is fine, but the front part of the road, Maligne Lake Road and Maligne Canyon, are quite burnt. And then the second half of Maligne Lake Road is totally fine. We went to Pyramid Lake and that whole area is totally fine. So yeah, it's really beautiful and there was nobody there when I went there. Well, people started coming, but there was a moment where I had it all to myself, so that was great. I stopped in the town briefly. It is paid parking now, which is interesting. It's paid parking. I googled it after I discovered it was paid parking, and it's paid parking from, I think it was May to the end of October. So it's still paid parking right now, which was unfortunate. However, I really just wanted to run into the gift shop and the coffee shop. So I found a spot that was 15-minute parking. I basically parked, ran to the cafe, got my cappuccino and a raspberry white chocolate scone that was made by Bear's Paw Bakery. Right now, a lot of the businesses in Jasper are closed. However, Bear's Paw Bakery, my favorite spot in Jasper town, my most favorite thing that they make is the raspberry white chocolate scone, and they have supplied another cafe with some of their baked goods. So I went to the Lost Land Cafe and got a raspberry white chocolate scone, so that's what I've been eating. And then I drank my cappuccino on the way to Old Fort Point, and I finished it off while I was hiking Old Fort Point, which is interesting, but whatever. Yeah, we hiked up Old Fort Point. Old Fort Point is basically straight uphill, but it's definitely worth it. I have hiked Old Fort Point like probably at least 5 times. It's quite short, but it's basically this big hill that overlooks the town of Jasper. So you get beautiful views of the town itself, and you get beautiful views of the Athabasca River. You get beautiful views of just everything. Like, it's a 360 view basically, and it's not that long of a hike. Like, you could get up and down in, I probably did it in under an hour. It depends on your fitness level, obviously, but you can see all of the dead trees and burnt trees from Old Fort Point, so definitely take a hike up there to get a good view. It's beautiful either way, whether it was when it was crispy, it was beautiful, and back when all of the trees were alive, it's super beautiful. It's one of my favorite hikes. So yeah, I have a 3.5 hour drive ahead of me. I'm predicted to get home at about 8:45 at night. It's 5:12 now, so I'm leaving Jasper now, and yeah, driving home to Edmonton. So thank you for coming on this day trip to Jasper with me. It is a long day, but honestly, it's worth it. I could spend the night, but we're on a budget, so a day trip it is. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions, and check out my website, endlesswonder.ca, because I have a couple of blog posts on Jasper there, but I also have a lot on Banff on my website. And feel free to follow me on Instagram if you want to see what I'm up to on a daily basis. Well, kind of daily basis, weekly basis, bi-daily basis, like every couple of days I'll post on there usually. Thank you so much for being here today. I hope you had an awesome day. Thank you for watching this video. Bye!